Hello, I'm Paul Chek, founder of the Chek Institute and the Personal, Professional, Spiritual Success Mastery Center. You can learn more about these organizations at chekinstitute.com and ppssuccess.com. Today I'd like to spend a few minutes talking to you about fungus and parasite infections. Next, you'll see that with chronic fungal infections and parasite infections, you start to see more and more symptoms of nutritional deficiency. Some of the symptoms I typically see in patients with fungal infections and parasite infections are things like changes in the nails, ridges in the nails, check marks, little white specks in the nails, flaky nails, flexible nails, weak nails, brittle nails. Those are all classic signs of nutritional deficiency. Other things that you will see is cracking in the skin around the nails, cracking in the skin around the mouth, around the nose. Typically, the more stressed the body becomes due to fungus and parasite infections, the more problems you have around any mucous membrane. So the nose, the mouth, the eye, inside the ear, the rectum, or the vagina. You will see reoccurring sores. Next, you might want to pay attention to the frequency of these sores. Write them down on a calendar. Whenever you get these sores, write them down. Whenever these symptoms come, keep a log on a calendar. Write on a calendar. If you have a parasite infection, you will see that they come in cycles. When the eggs hatch and then they mature, they start eating your food and living in your body. That gives you all the symptoms. And then when they die off, your symptoms drop down and they have life and death cycles just like human beings do. So by monitoring the symptoms, you'll be able to find out whether you have an infection or not. A fungal infection will be there as long as you keep eating garbage and feeding the fungus. Okay, they're super, super durable creatures. I talk about that in my book, but if you think you have a fungal infection, you should read the book The Fungus Link by Doug Kaufman. It's available at chekinstitute.com. Now, other signs and symptoms. Hair quality gets poor. Skin quality gets poor. You see lots of skin conditions, sores on the skin, pimples. If you have a fungal infection, you'll often get things that look like pimples, but if you squeeze it, not much will come out of it. And actually all you'll do is wound your skin. And it seems like it's just an irritant. It's almost like a pimple, but it's not a pimple. The other thing that can happen is if you put some sort of a cream or medication on them, these things will move away from the medicated area. That's because a fungus is actually half plant and half animal. It can be either one. So if you treat it, it'll just move away. It becomes an animal and walks away. Very unique creatures, very, very intelligent, and as I said, very durable. Other things that you want to look for, hair quality gets poor, brittle hair, split ends, dry hair, skin gets dry, inability to process fats in your body is common. Next, you'll see sleep quality changes. Typically, people will have an inability to get a restful sleep. Oftentimes, you'll wake up after 8 hours sleep and still feel tired or unrested. You will also notice you start craving the need for stimulants. Because they're robbing so much of your energy and your nutrition, you will typically crave sugar and caffeinated beverages to pick you up. This is a very dangerous cycle called the sugar-caffeine cycle, and the more you get sucked into it, the more fatigued you get, the more of a target you are for the bugs because they sense your overall level of vitality, as I will show you in just a minute. Sexual performance begins to diminish as the body becomes more and more stressed. The reason is these bugs are actually eating you. The skin problems that you're having, that's because the funguses are eating your skin, or the bugs are eating your skin. Each of the parasites has a favorite organ. It'll go in there and start eating it. They do their eating at night. Moonlight is like sunlight to you. So high moon, 12 midnight, is high noon to the bugs. So what you'll see typically happening is as they eat into your tissues, it causes inflammation, which causes the release of a hormone called cortisol, which is an activating and awakening hormone. So you'll wake up between 1 and 3 o'clock in the morning typically, and you might even start sweating in bed. And that's because the release of the inflammation controlling hormone is actually triggering your body to wake up, because that hormone's not supposed to be released until sunrise. So you'll wake up, you'll have to count backward from 1,000 2 or 3 times, you'll fall asleep at about 4 or 5 a.m., and then when the alarm clock goes off, you've been in bed for 8 or 9 hours, but you feel like you've only had an hour worth of sleep. So it can progressively drain you. They want to keep you tired, and they want to keep you eating sugar and drinking caffeine because it leaves your defenses down.